Hi, and welcome to Lesson 5, Step 1, the best file format for printing. As we all know, there are a lot of different formats for photo files, such as RAW, JPEG, TIFF, PNG. In this step, we'll go over all the different file types, and I'm going to explain the type of file type that I recommend you use when saving a photo that you want to print and hang in your home. So chances are you have probably either heard a discussion about whether JPEG or RAW is best or joined in one. But choosing between JPEG and RAW isn't like choosing between apples. It's like choosing if you want to have an apple or an orange, two totally different types of fruit. One you can just take a bite of, and one you have to peel before you can eat it. Like apples and oranges, RAW and JPEG are fundamentally different. So, do you remember back when we shot with rolls of film that needed to be developed before they could be printed? Yeah, like way back when. Well, I like to think of the RAW file format as similar to an undeveloped roll of film. It's not compressed, and it has all of the photo's information. RAW photos can be processed in many different ways, just like a roll of film. But RAW photos cannot be printed until they've been converted into a printable file format, which is like processing the film. JPEG, on the other hand, is printable. Your photo saves its photos as JPEGs, and without ever opening them on your computer, you could print them. I think of JPEG files as film negatives. Not that unprocessed roll of film that you sent in for printing, but those strips of negatives that you got back with your photo prints. The negatives that you could use to print again. So JPEG files don't have as much information on them as RAW files do because they're compressed, but that's not a problem for printing photos. Both RAW and JPEG formats have many pros, and that's one reason that some photographers will simultaneously shoot RAW and JPEG files. I personally don't do that because I feel like if I like the shot, then I want to have all of its information so I can edit it more completely. So I mostly shoot in RAW. With a RAW file, I can then adjust the white balance, the exposure of the photo without losing any quality. I also personally don't like having both RAW and JPEG files of the same shot because it clutters up my computer. So I only shoot in RAW, and then I convert those photos that I want to print into JPEGs. Some people shoot in both. That's just how I do it. But on the other hand, shooting only JPEGs can be good and quick because there's no processing. But if you want full creative freedom, then you really should take RAW photos and then save them as JPEGs for printing. Right, why do I recommend saving your photos as JPEGs when there are so many other printable file formats? Well, for several reasons. JPEG is the standard file format used on digital cameras worldwide, so you know you can trust it. It's good quality, and yet they are relatively small, which makes them faster to upload, especially when you want to order photo prints online. They can also be saved at high resolution, so even though the file is compressed, it will have all the information to make an amazing and big photo print. TIFF files, however, are very large, often bigger than RAW files, and most often they're used for graphic imaging, medical images, and archiving photos. While technically they'll contain more information than JPEG files, it's at a scale you're not going to notice when printing. The big file just makes uploading harder and longer, and there's no noticeable difference in the quality. So TIFF isn't a great format for printing. But what about PNGs? Well, the PNG file format was created for the digital screen, which is why you're mostly going to find it online. While it can be printed, the quality of a JPEG file is just so much higher that you're better off only using PNGs for online photos. One great thing, though, about PNG files is that they can save objects with a transparent background. So, say you wanted to add an emoji into a photo you were going to print. I have no idea why, but just say you wanted to. like this emoji you're looking at right here. So you could save an emoji as a PNG file and be able to add that funny yellow face into your photo without a white background around it. That's the real plus of PNG, don't you think? So in sum, even though you have a choice of digital image file types, I do suggest that you shoot in RAW if it's possible, and then when you're done editing your photos, you save them as high-quality JPEGs for printing. In step 2, we'll talk about your photo's color space and how you should set and save it for a great photo print. We're not f-stopping yet, so I'll see you there.